So I wanted to do this video on a subject that I feel like a few of you are really kind of becoming victim to, if you like, at the moment. And that is this thing that the ego can trick you even whilst you think you're aware of its tricks. It can come in very sneakily through the back door, if you like, and really cause havoc with your progression, both through Dark Night of the Soul and in just life in general. And I'll try and give you a little example of this. Of how it can actually work through the back door, so you can become aware of what to look out for. Well, if you imagine that you're someone who's going through the Dark Night of the Soul and you think you're doing all the things that you should be doing, that what you might have learnt off these spiritual channels or off of the gurus, and you're carrying out all the exercises, so you're having time alone and you're trying to eat a decent diet and you're getting out in the wild, and you know you're going to the woods, taking your shoes and socks off, and you're putting your feet on the floor and you're trying to ground, so you're and you're meditating and stuff, and so you're trying to do this spiritual kind of life, and you're still there thinking, why is nothing changing though? I'm doing all the things that I've been told to do, but nothing is changing. Now, this is the part of this video that's quite interesting, or I hope it's quite interesting to some of you, and that part there where you say, why is nothing happening? That is the ego actually talking. And it's in those kind of areas that we have to be so cautious and conscious of, because we're carrying out that spiritual practice, if you like. We're carrying out the lifestyle that we think we need to live out in order to progress through the Dark Night of the Soul, or to let our crushed self come out, if you like. And on top of that is a question of, but nothing seems to be happening. And it's that is the ego that's still keeping you trapped there, because it's still looking for something. It's looking for an answer. It's looking for a reason why it's not moving forward. But the idea of that is, why I want to point that out is because you might notice that in other areas of your life, that when you think you're carrying out the thing it is that you need to be carrying out in order to move forward, you might still be asking questions of, but nothing's happening yet. Why am I not progressing? Nothing seems to be changing. Or it might even get you in an even more sneaky way, which is this one. So you might go out to the woods and you might take some time to relax, and you're doing all the things that you should do, and you might even be feeling quite calm and quite good. And so you might ask yourself, okay, or in my case I might say, okay Tobe, what is it that you want to do? There's nothing profoundly wrong with that question. But you have to be kind of aware that in the surrender, you won't be asking those questions. And the idea of not asking those questions is, the idea that you need to be aware that you're asking those questions is that is the ego even gently trying to make itself relevant. It's trying to sneakily say to you in a very gentle way, a very subtle way of, you still need an answer. You still need to know something before you move forward. You still need to know something before you surrender. But how we actually surrender in that moment, and this takes practice, guys, by the way. This is something that takes a dedicated commitment. It kind of doesn't come naturally. To progress forward in the Dark Night of the Soul and to allow your true self to come out, to a degree, requires a little piece of ego to keep you driving forward. So you have to become consciously aware that you will need to put effort into this. But when those questions arise in you, so for example, you're in the woods and you're sitting there, okay Tobe, I'm feeling good at the minute, but right, what do I want to do with myself? At that moment, you have to be aware, become consciously aware that is the ego talking. And you don't actually have to do anything, just be aware of it. And this is where I feel that some channels, they don't do that. They say become aware of it, but when we become aware of things like that, it's like we're waiting for something to happen, like a special feeling or a special epiphany moment. No, nothing happens, guys. All we need to do is simply be aware that is what is going on, and acknowledge that is what is going on. And you can even do that by way of having a laugh with it. So you can kind of be a bit with yourself, oh, I see what you're doing there, ego. Yeah, I see you trying to look after me. I see you trying to make yourself relevant, but, you know, sneakily. That's okay. Thanks for trying to look after me, but I got this. You know, and even there, when you've said that to yourself, nothing happens. But the idea of the moving forward is in the being aware. So when you're, and why I'm telling you this is because when you're in those moments, I feel like sometimes we're waiting for that feeling, that clarity moment, that epiphany. It's not going to come in those moments. One day, and in certain areas, it does happen. But we don't need to expect it when we're trying to observe our true self coming out, and it's still in this very covert battle with the ego. You might think that you're aware of your ego, but your ego might disguise itself as the new you, and therefore it asks you gentle questions, and you need to come aware of those questions. Think, oh, okay, it's cool. I don't need to expect anything here. I'm just, there's the ego. And there's not, like I say, there's nothing wrong with asking the question, okay, Tobe, what is it you'd like to do? There's nothing wrong with that. But be aware of that question. Is the ego still looking for an answer? And when you become aware of that, you'll realize you won't be able to give it an answer there and then. But by becoming aware of that and not expecting nothing from your awareness of it, so no special feeling from that, that is ultimately moving forward. And like I say, when you become aware of that in all areas of your life, that's how you will keep progressing. And eventually, that consciousness that becomes aware of it becomes easier and easier and easier. And you see the ego coming a mile off. Oh, you can see it at work. And that's what surrendering ultimately is. And there's a quick video. I just wanted to leave that one out there for you because I've spoken to quite a few people this week, and by the way guys, a few of them have actually said to me that I should put on my videos that I am available for one-to-one consultations, if you like. So if any of you want that, please feel free to email me and we can sort something out. I wasn't mentioning that before because I kind of didn't want this to go down that route, but speaking to the other guys have said that I should put that in there, so it's in there. But anyway, I hope that helps you. I hope that in some way gives you a little bit of peace and clarity if you feel like you're doing all the right things but you're still stuck or maybe getting frustrated with, oh, I'm doing all the right things but nothing's happening. That might be why. Is because that little ego's coming in through that back door and saying, hey, we're doing all the right things here, so what do we want next then? It's the ego still trying to make itself relevant. It's a sneaky little bastard. But anyway guys, I love every one of you. Hi to the new subscribers that have come on board, and thank you as always guys for always commenting and making this community an awesome one. I do appreciate it. I'm out I've actually come for a walk up the river today, and I'm sat in a graveyard outside this pretty church. There's a little river in front of me, and I just thought I'd come in here and get some shade, and it's a nice peaceful spot to do this video. So I hope you're all well guys, and I look forward to speaking to you probably tomorrow. I'll do another video tomorrow. Thank you guys, take care, peace.